Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, May 16th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. Looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Sent out there, there, and there. Perfect. So as people start to join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Hour on down to the 4 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15 minute. Ten-minute. And down to the 1 minute here. All right, perfect. Looks good. So good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 16th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:28 right now. We got market opening up shortly in about 2 minutes. Marked up liquidity over here. It's looking like the breakout for today is going to be a buy if anybody's looking to take that. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Lila. Morning, Nikki. Morning, Christian. Morning, everybody. Yeah, let's see what happens here shortly. Looking over here at the market profile. So price is currently bouncing off the value low right there. You can see the overall trend here is bullish with the higher time frames. Lower time frames are shifting to bearish, but the higher time frames are still bullish. So looking at that right now, price pretty much came down, bounced off the value low. And we'll see what happens here shortly. So, all right, guys, we got market opening up in about 40 seconds. So price kind of coming down here to this lower end. See if there's any liquidity down here. So liquidity is currently at 42,338. So the value low is going to be right here at 42,375. And this thing's dumping super, super hard right now. Not sure what's going on. What's causing like, this big, big dump right here. But breakout for today is going to be a buy, it looks like. So price pretty much kind of swung around this area right here. I'm going to mark up the opening price right there. Yeah, we got some pretty crazy moves here. Let me check the news calendar for today. So we had housing starts, building permits, etc. right here at 5:30. So that's going to be pre-market news. I don't know exactly what caused the big spike to the downside, like, right on open, but I'll mark this up as news price. And then we have Michigan consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. So I'll go ahead and mark up consumer sentiment right here. Okay. So we got price kind of bouncing right there down below. Again, the volume profile or market profile is indicating that the value low is going to be at 375. So around, yeah, around this area right here, possibly, I mean, you may possibly see some sort of liquidity sweep. This area right here at 375. It's going to follow right there. The sweep might happen lower down here, actually. But that's where the value low is. So what I'm looking at right here is I'm looking for price to possibly, and it's actually pushing even lower now. So the value low is actually at 350. Oh, yeah. So I think, yeah, I think a liquidity sweep may happen right here, guys. Price may bounce off this area, off the sessions, and then shoot right back up to open. Not this specific area, but like just this generalized area right here. So what I would be looking for here is a possible MPS V2 back to the upside from this point here. Shabam said free Kodi. Are they back in? Yeah, no, they were only out there for a little bit, Shabam. Yeah, I had some contractors come in and fix my washer, so I had to put him outside because Cody's like the guard dog, so that dude goes crazy. Let's see. So the breakout for today was actually a sell, guys. I don't know if anybody caught the breakout. I was looking at it as a buy earlier, but I misinterpreted because there was a sell signal right here. I think there was a pending buy signal when I was looking at it, but it didn't close. So the breakout for today was actually a sell. So the sell over here came through. The breakout actually hit every day this week, guys. So if anybody took the breakout today, or this week, the breakout hit for 5 days straight. Steven's not here right now, but it's ironic that the one time that Steven doesn't take the breakout, it hits every day this week. That's crazy. Yeah, Talanji said, yeah, the buy didn't print, caught three out of five this week. Nice. So again, breakout today. I'm pretty shocked that the breakout was like so smooth today, or this week actually. It hasn't been this smooth in a while. So, like I've said in the past, guys, it just kind of depends on the market conditions. But yeah, there goes another breakout right there, full TP. Yeah, so you can see the breakouts here, guys. Pretty much every day this week. This was today's full TP. This was yesterday's full TP. This was Wednesday's full TP. Like literally no drawdown. This was Tuesday's full TP. And this was Monday's full TP. So yeah, 5 back-to-back wins for the breakout this week. Pretty impressive. So we have price at the value low right here. I mean, if you guys really wanted to get in at the value low, this would be like the entry basically. Anybody's looking for that sweep. Um, I'll follow it and we'll kind of see where it goes. Again, like I said, we have price currently at the value low. So what I'd be looking for is a possible MPSV2 back to the upside. So possibly a buy signal and then continuation back up to open. Hey, Ben, morning. Yeah, so I'm looking for an MPSV2 right here, guys, for a buy back to the upside. I mean, otherwise, if you guys wanted to take this here as a, a low point, like I said, this area right here would be the I'll be looking these up, these liquidity sweeps. I'm basically like linking these to the market profile to kind of see where the balances may happen because I'm looking for entry here. But you can see right here, this would be a pretty smooth liquidity sweep right there. So I'll be looking for possible opportunities for and again right there, see how price kind of came down, bounced off the value low and shot right back up. I'll be looking for like, opportunities there for liquidity sweeps, of course. But mainly for these liquidity sweeps and these market profiles, I'm using it as a confluence, not necessarily for standalone entries, of course. So we got price bouncing right there off the value low. So if price does push back up from here, we do have a lot of confluences to the upside. Nothing here on the volume profile. Price is way too far off. Price is still kind of sitting around this lower area. Mark up some support resistance. Yeah, I figured there wasn't going to be too many here. Let's see, a couple more zones right here. See if there's any lower. There's a big one right here. So price is currently bouncing off this support level right now for the SR. So there's quite a bit of confluences here for a push to the upside if we do get, an opportunity, of course. So we got a pending buy signal right here. We're looking for that MPS V2 to the upside. ATR is currently at 25. Closer to 30, it looks like. I'll just leave it at 14. I don't need to change it too much. All right, so we got a pending buy signal right here. I'm looking for that MPS V2 back up because this is an area of liquidity for a liquidity sweep. So I'm looking for that sweep right there, push back up to opening price right there. So ideally, I'd like this buy signal here to close. Possible. No close there yet. So again, we got another pending buy signal here. If you look on the higher time frames, everything's still bullish. So 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, everything here is bullish. The lower time frames were bearish and they're shifting back up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for a push to the upside. Hey Sam, how's it going? I don't know if you grabbed the liquidity sweep down here, Sam. I identified this right here. I linked it up with my market profile. Basically identified the value low, and then I identified it with my liquidity and sessions down here. So I pretty much had that double confluence for a liquidity sweep. I'm gonna be looking at liquidity sweep. So I'm gonna be looking at a couple of things, guys. I'll be looking at things like so things like ranges, right? Be looking at possible price ranges. And then I'll also be looking at things like liquidity sweeps, just so that we have an idea where like possible bounces may happen. I'm not looking for entries exactly at that point, but it's always good to have an idea of like what to identify, like have some sort of bounce point to expect price to maybe bounce from. All right, so we had an upper range right here. Still haven't gotten that buy signal at all. So again, price is coming back down to this area below. Value low still at that 350 price area, which is where the sessions is right here. So it's kind of just sitting right here at the liquidity. It wasn't a full-on sweep or a break and retest. It's more so just kind of acting as a magnet right here as it sits around this area. Man, I was hoping to get some nice volatility today so that we can get that, entry pretty early on. I'm still looking for that buy to the upside, but there's nothing really here to work with, guys, unfortunately. I mean, it's just one of those weeks, like I've mentioned to you guys before, there's weeks like this that are going to happen, and it's best to kind of just sit out of this type of market. I've only had one loss for this week, so it's not exactly a horrible week for me. Um, I mean, ideally, I'd like to have at least one win this week so I can break even and then just, continue on to next week. All right, so nothing happening here, guys. Price is sitting right here at the sessions. I mean, we might get a sideways move until news here at 7 o'clock. We have Michigan consumer sentiment, which is inflation news. The inflation news this week was pretty much negative for CPI. It was negative for PPI. So consumer sentiment. One pattern that I've noticed is we've had the same thing happen last month where it was negative CPI, negative PPI, but consumer sentiment was actually positive. So what I'm seeing here is price may just consolidate around this area until 7 o'clock, and then we'll get a push right back to open from there. That's kind of what I see happening because that's what I saw happen last week. I mean, it looks like price here is starting to kind of range a little bit, so I'll try to draw some structure right here. So we got a consolidation area right here. Price just ranging and consolidating sideways from this point. I was looking for that buy entry to come up. So, whenever we have consolidation like this, what's to happen next is a breakout, right? So I'm gonna look for a possible break above, retest, and continue back up to the opening price. The thing that you want to be careful for is the fake out, right? So you don't want to be caught in something like this or pulls back into the range. Because this is a big possibility too. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, price for sure is going to go up or it's going to for sure go down. It's just, we've been stuck in this sideways move for so long that this is kind of just what we're pretty much accustomed to at the moment. So yeah, guys, just a matter of time until we get something here, but just got to be patient. And I say to be patient. Well, I'm trying to be patient myself. Uh, yeah, there just isn't really much here going on. We're probably gonna have to wait till 7, guys. It's 6:45 right now. We got about 15 minutes till news. You guys can see here, it's pretty obvious, right? There's nothing going on. So don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything. We are literally just waiting for the market here to do something. I would be careful for sells though. So I'd be careful for some sells because what you might see here is a liquidity sweep to the downside and a push back into the range. I mean, it goes either way, right? You can see a fake out to the bottom right here. The only reason I'm more curious with the bottom is because we do have liquidity sitting here. So you have some targets here, price to actually come grab liquidity and then come back up. Same with the upper side over here too, though. We do have liquidity right here as well. So it's not one-sided. Either way, we can look for a sweep on either side right here. So guys, I'm gonna step away for about a few minutes. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back and nothing has happened. I was trying to rush real quick. I was like, oh, I was hoping not to miss anything, but looks like I didn't miss anything here at all. Price is still consolidating within this lower area. So again, like I said earlier, guys, price is probably not going to do much until 7 o'clock. It's just the market that we're in, right? There's nothing wrong with it. This is just the type of market that we're in right now, and it's the type of market we got to deal with. So it's all good. I mean, it is what it is, and we just got to deal with this type of market conditions until the market starts moving. Let's see. Shvam said 42,330 is the bottom of his support line. Upper range is 42,461. Would love to buy towards the upper range, maybe a continuation lower with a sell print. So let's see. Shavam's lower point is 42,330. Okay, which is basically my liquidity below. And his upper range is 42 to 261. Wait, 461, which is basically opening price. Okay, so Shivan's range is basically around this area from up here and down here. There's a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. Um, I mean, I guess this is possibly an MPSV2 already running. Again, we had like a little bit of a price gap right here, like we talked about yesterday. It's I mean, technically this didn't really close above it, but when this candle opened, it opened above it right here. So this is technically an MPSV2 right here for a buy. I mean, I wouldn't have taken it here because of the low volatility, and then it was also at this upper range. I would have taken it if it closed above this range here though, because like I said, I'm looking for that possible break and retest, continuation to the upside. So yeah, I mean this would be considered a messy entry because you can see over here. So I'll draw a line here to show you guys why I say that. So you guys can see here from this black line, we needed the green candle to close above the momentum right there, right? It didn't exactly close above it, but this candle did open above it. So there's a little price gap right there. So it closed right here, but it ended up opening right here. So it was in the motion to the upside. I mean, I wouldn't have taken this trade here though, specifically because it was still stuck within the range at this specific time. Let's see if that break and retest actually plays through though. So what I mentioned earlier is, look out for the break and retest and push back up to open. It's kind of what's happening right here, right? And see, Talanji said, anybody that uses FVGs, is there a specific time frame you prefer to set them up on to trade on the 1 minute? So for me, and for a lot of people, mostly what people do is they set it with the 1 in 5, Talanji. So I have the one right here. The one you get a lot of noise though, right? So like for example, you have the gaps right there, right? Where you do get a lot of noise. And then the 5 over here to give you a little bit more of a push outwards. Anything higher is just a little kind of spread out. So I think these two are probably the best options because you can kind of line them up together. When the 5 minute and the 1 minute line up, it's usually gonna be a pretty strong liquidity zone. Because they're like basically that shows that there's a fair value gap on two different levels or two different time frames. All right, so that break and retest here is still kind of playing through, guys. It's a slow roll because the ATR is very low at 21 ATR. Nice. Yes, it's Longy said he's looking at 5 and 30. Yeah, 30 is good too. I mean, the higher time frames, the better. It's just, I mean, you'll probably get 30-minute time frames on the 1 minute, but if you go anything higher, you're probably not going to get any. Or sometimes you'll get a 30-minute time frame and it'll cover your whole screen, right? Because it'll be such a huge gap. So yeah, I mean, they all work. It's kind of just picking and choosing which one works best for you. But I do think before I kind of played around with it. I used like the 5, I used a 10, I used a 15, I used a 30 at some point. The 1 hour was too big, like the gaps would just be too spread out, so I just wouldn't be able to use that one. But it just kind of depends on your moves too. If you're looking for those quick little bounces, obviously the lower time frames would be better. If you're looking for those stronger bounces, the higher time frames would work better. It's just those types of bounces will probably happen a lot less. Let's see, Shivam said based on past setups, I think it probably will come back to the range, then actually break out. But Friday, anything can happen. Yeah. And that's kind of what's happening right here, right now, right, Shivam? It did that. So price came back, retested the range, basically a double retest right here. Let's see if it actually breaks out to the upside now. See, even though this position is running in profit, I mean, for me personally, I think I would be a little bit stressed out with this position here because this position's running for quite some time. But again, like this is the MPSV2 that I was looking for. It just wasn't a good one. Like it wasn't a nice setup like the one I was looking for, something like that, right? This is more so like a little retracement and then a little confirmation, not even a big one. So yeah, the MPSV2 right there is running. I mean, this is a slow entry. It's been running for about 5 minutes now. This would probably be the threshold for it to either hit or not hit. I mean, the ATR is at 20, so like if you wanted to go for a smaller target, the 20 would have hit already. The 25 would have hit already. You know, it's slow. So this is why it's important to look at the ATR, guys, because you know you don't want to hope and pray 30 minutes is going to hit or 30 points is going to hit. If the ATR is 20, then you're better off getting out at 20 points, right? Because that's how much we're expecting the movement to happen. Not to say the 30 is not going to hit, but you know, this thing's taking forever. It's about like 6, 7 minutes now in. There you go, full TP. So if you guys took that MPSV2 right there, nice work, guys. That was the MPSV2 that I was looking for personally. It just did not set up the way I wanted it to. So like I said, this is exactly the setup that I was looking for. I was looking for an MPSV2 because I had price grab liquidity down here for that liquidity sweep. I was looking for that continuation to the upside and then back to open. So if you guys caught that right there, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I didn't even take it myself because of this low volatility. But I'm glad that my analysis and my setup here did play out perfect. So I think I'm going to start doing this more often, guys. I'm going to be looking for liquidity sweeps using, you know, the market profile here to identify the bounce points. For me specifically, I think these are good areas because the overall trend here was bullish. That's why for me, I had a bias for a buy today because the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute was all bullish. So I was looking for price to come down, grab liquidity, and then shoot right back up. Unfortunately, my entry over here didn't come out as clean as I would have wanted it to. So I didn't take the entry there. I didn't even see it until later because I saw that this candle here was like right on the line. Like it didn't even actually close above it. Either way, if you would have waited for this one, it still would have hit. So if you waited for the next candle here to confirm and you got in for a late entry, or you just waited for this actual confirmation, either way, if you got in from there, if you got in from here, you know, it still would have hit regardless of the fact. So, all right, we'll keep looking for the next opportunity over here. Now that price is within this area, let me see if there's new liquidity here to kind of mark up. Not really. So price is currently at the point of control now. We got high impact news coming up right here at about 7 o'clock. So it looks like we might have some pre-news movement here as price pushes up higher. That's some pre-news movement right here. All right, there we go. As price pushes right back to open. Not much going on here. So my analysis played out perfect, guys. Which I'm glad it did. I'm just kind of bummed out that I didn't get into that position. So this over here, like I said, price came down, grabbed liquidity, MPSV2 back to the upside, back to open. So we got news right here at 7 o'clock. It's all good. I mean, this is the entry I was looking for. I'm glad that the analysis played through, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into that position. There was no A++ setups that came up after, so there was nothing that I could get in for a late entry. I'm just glad that the MPSV2 here did hit, and my liquidity sweep analysis here did work as well. So I'm going to be incorporating a couple of different things into the analysis. The strategy isn't changing. I'm still looking for MPSV2s, but I'm going to be looking at a little more confluences to help us identify entries, right? So we got this big spike candle right here for the MPS, or for the news that just came up. So the news price is exactly at opening price. They're exactly on the same exact price point, which is pretty crazy. Looking at the Michigan consumer sentiment, it was negative. So it was negative just like all the other inflation data that came out this week. PPI, CPI was both negative. Michigan consumer sentiment also negative. Last month, it was kind of unusual because it was negative for both CPI and PPI, but the consumer sentiment was still positive, which I thought was unusual. But here it looks like it did line up. The news was actually aligned with the inflation news that came out prior this week. You can see here what price came down and rejected. It came directly down to this lower range, like a sweep of the range right there. All right, so we got price kind of coming around here again. So 350 is going to be the I'm just gonna mark this up right here so I can know where the value low is. I like to kind of have an idea of like where these confluences stand. Value higher is at 475. So we got a value high, which is like right here, but there's no zones around that area. So if anything, if a sweep ever happens up here, it might happen to this point and then come back down from there. Possibly 500. Yeah. So if price does push up any higher, we could possibly see a sweep happen from up here and then a continuation back down lower. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. See if this here updates at all. Price is currently at the point of control. There's no zones down here though. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for these liquidity sweeps around certain areas. Basically, I want them to line up with my liquidity price points. But there just hasn't been any, areas to really look at or confirm. So we don't really got much happening here right now. Kind of just waiting to see if there is. I'm basically looking for a momentum signal. If we get a momentum signal here, we can look for possible opportunity for MPSV2 or retracement, but there just isn't really much here. Let's see, Sam said 42,492 is his zone. And 42,492. Okay. Yeah. So Sam's sell zone is going to be around this area right here, between 492 and 473. Yeah. So it looks like your zone over here that you're looking for, that sell point, it aligns with the value high right here. For me, I try to go out a little farther. So I'm trying to go out to here. So we're kind of around the same area, Sam. So we'll see. But yeah, Sam's area is right here. I'll be looking for a little bit of a farther push. So I'm looking for price to push up, possibly reject off this area, get an MPSV2 for a sell and come back down. Possibly. Yeah, my sell point's going to be around this area up here, a little higher than yours. So if you do get into that position right there, Sam, you could probably, if it does retrace up higher, you can probably hold on to it a little bit more. If it does push up, it might not even reach this point. It might get to your point right there. Because the thing is, the value high is right here. So like there's basically three levels to this. We have the first level of rejection right here, which is the value high. We have your level over here, which is at 492. And then we have my level over here, which is the actual liquidity that I have marked up. So there's about three different levels there. We can get a rejection from here. We can get a rejection from here, or we can get a rejection from here. This is kind of the chances that you guys take. Because like, for example, you can take the entry right here. You might get in a little too early. You can take the rejection right here. You might get in a little too early. Or you can take the rejection right here and miss the entire move because it might just reject from this lower point. Just three different levels there for rejection. Yeah, Sam said, I'm not very confident after watching the green 5-minute candle just formed. Yeah, because this thing here climbed up a bit, right? So we got price coming back down right here as we speak. We got a sell signal currently pending. We have price projecting off the sessions right there. Okay, so my level over here actually dropped a little lower, 475. No, it's still there. Looks like it dropped, but it didn't. 42, 475. No. Yeah, nothing's changed there. Price is currently at the point of control right here. I don't have any zones around this lower area, so oh fuck, what did I do? Yeah, I don't have any zones around this lower area, so not really a spot that I'm looking to take entries from. All right, so we got price pushing back up from here. We got price pushing to this upper level of liquidity. A little too close though. All right, so I mean, it looks like we got some more consolidation right here, guys. So I hate to draw these consolidation ranges, but it's what it's looking like right now. We got so many ranges. We're just in such a ranging market here that we just end up in these ranges this whole time. That sell signal never actually even closed either. So yeah, we're just kind of watching this bounce around. So we got the sell signal right there that's now currently pending. We'll see if it actually closes. All right, so we got the sell signal here, which closed below this range. What we might get here is a possible continuation back down to this lower range right here. Possibly. Let's see. There's no confluences here on the 1-minute market profile. There's no confluences here on the 30. No confluences here on the 1 hour. No confluences on the volume profile. No confluences on the clean chart, and a couple confluences right here on the support resistance, just like one rejection right here off the resistance. So if we do get a sell here, there's not really many confluences. I don't think the sell here would be a good setup because there just isn't any confluences here. So we do have the sell signal come up. It looks like it might be a trap, basically a fake out below, and then a pull back into the range. Yeah, exactly. Sam said trap. It's literally what it was. Fake out right there, and it pulled right back into the range. This is why I'm like really cautious about trading outside the range like this. Like I'd be okay trading within the range, but once you trade outside the range, this is where you kind of get caught in these traps, right? So does not look like we're gonna get a sell there. Maybe we will. I mean, we'll see. Definitely a very tricky setup right here. All right, so no entry there for a sell yet. Again, if you want to take this for an MPSV2, you need price to break and close below this black line right here. But again, I don't think it's a super great entry because, like we just talked about, it just faked out right here. So this could be another fake out for it pulled back into the range. If you guys want to take it, feel free. It looks like it might close. You can see the price action here. It's kind of bouncing back and forth between this black line. Looks like it's probably going to close below it, but same. All right, so I did close below it right there. This is NPSV2 running for a sell. The ATR is at 25, so if you want to go for a tighter TP, you can probably tighten that up a little bit. If you want to go for the full 30, feel free. Again, I just didn't feel comfortable with this position here because there was no confluences. As much as I want to take an entry today, I don't want to take a bad entry. So now price coming down from there. Let's see if price comes down any lower. 42 through 50 below. Yeah, I can probably catch a sweep down here if it drops any lower from this point. I'm not in this position right here, guys. Like I said, it could be a possible fake out back into the range. That was the reason why. So there's a couple of reasons why I didn't feel comfortable with this position. For one, we had the fake out right here that happened. So I wouldn't be surprised if another fake out here happened just like it did right there, double fake outs. The other thing is there just wasn't any confluences for a sell, right? We don't have any confluences. There's no rejections on the 1 minute market profile. There's no rejections here on the 30-minute market profile, nothing on the 1 hour, nothing on the volume profile, nothing on the clean chart. And just, obviously a choppiness of wicks here on the support resistance. So either way, like I said, there just wasn't enough confluences. If there was upwards rejections, I would have taken them, but there just wasn't any upwards rejections for me. Like we had something here on the 1 minute market profile, if we rejected off the value high, or even at the point of control, or even on the 30-minute here, there's like no rejections off the top. So that's why I didn't feel comfortable taking the sells there. I'd ideally would want to take some buys here if I could get some, but again, I don't know if we'll even get any buys here. Trade's still running though. It's just this range here. This is why I'm super, super cautious about the range, right? It's because I took losses at the range for the past 2 weeks. Every time I take a trade at the end of the range, I get caught in the pullback into the range. So for me personally, in order for me to avoid taking those types of trades again, I just stopped trading around those areas. So we'll keep watching, but We'll see. It's Longi's in this position, so I hope it hits at least for 25. Yeah, let's go for at least 25 here, guys. Hopefully it can hit. It's gonna be the key thing there. It looks like it might be back in profit. Solange said it might take 10. This shit's crazy. Scary, yeah. So Solange's in it right now still. 25 is still running. 10 hit already. Yeah, see, I don't like how it's like right here at the range. The range is what throws me off right here because you can see price is trying to get below it, but every time it gets below it, just swings back up. Let's see, Shivam said the 30-second has a new sell signal printing. Yeah, you can see our price is just kind of sitting right here at this lower range. If I had more confluences, I'd be more confident in it. But like I said, there just isn't as many confluences here that we would like or that we would need really. Um, so we have a new liquidity area right here. So what I could look for here is a possible buyer on this point below if because the point of control right here is at like 413. So 413 in the lower point of that area is going to be around like 400. Okay, so what I could possibly see here is a sweep below at this point. So I think if it comes down a third time, so if price swings back down a third time right here, possibly sweep off this area and then pull back into the range again. Yeah, I mean this is the market for this week. This is literally how the market's been moving every day this week. It looks like a summer market basically. If you guys have not traded in the summer, this is how the summer typically looks. It's a little frustrating, but usually in the summer market, it gives you opportunity for at least one entry, at least one or two entries. Um, I mean, you can see here there was one entry that came up here that did hit. It just wasn't a clean one. This was like probably the best kind of setup that I could look for today because this did exactly what I was looking for. It came down and grabbed liquidity. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come down and grab liquidity or come up and grab liquidity and then come back down for an MPSV2, followed by that. Otherwise, I mean, you can enter right at the liquidity grab, but for the most part, it's kind of just going to be a tough, setup to look at. So looking at this over here, I think the buys are still going to be my preferred direction of entry because the higher time frames here are still bullish. So ideally, I'd like to look for some buys here. The only problem here is that, I mean, it's not the only problem, but there's a couple of problems here. So if we do get a buy, MPSV2 for a buy right here, it's going to be, a tricky entry because we're going to be right at the session. So we'll have a red flag right here. The other thing that I would be concerned with is that we have a value high right here. So if price pushes up, it may reject off one of these points. So I'm going to look for an MPSV2 here for a buy, guys, if possible. There's no rejection points around this area right now specifically, but I do want price to push away from these sessions right here. So if I was to take an MPSV2 here for a buy, like if we ended up getting a buy, I would like to end up at, or at least pull out before I get to the liquidity up here, right? That's why this is why everything here kind of turns into an issue because So the thing is, if this pushes up any higher, we're gonna get closer and closer to that area of liquidity. So I need this entry to happen somewhere around this middle area right here. I also don't want it to be too close to the sessions because I don't want to be entering at a red flag. And I also don't want to be entering at this range. Okay, so we don't have that retracement signal yet, or retracement candle. Basically, the red candle is what we're looking for here. So we have price retracing right here. This is a possible setup for MPSV2 like we mentioned, but again, I don't think this is a good setup because we have the red flag right there. The red flag is always going to be in the way, it seems like. All right, we have an MPSV2 here starting to set up as we speak. So we had an MPSV2 right here for a buy. Only problem, again, like I said, is we're at this upper range. I'm going to sit out on this one, guys. I'm going to sit out on this one. It's just there's low volatility. It's at the sessions. There's just, I mean, there's confluences here. MPSV2 or market profile, 1 minute to rejection, 30-minute, 1 hour volume profile. This actually looks like a really good setup. Clean chart. So this is what I'll do. I'll look for this here to swing back up. And if it swings back up, I could get in for a late entry. That's what I'll look out for. Because this here could be a possible, and I'm glad I didn't get in because look how price is faking out right here. Again, like I said, it's became a tricky entry because of the sessions right here. This is the main reason I decided not to take a trade. For one, the sessions, and for two, the um the upper range, right? So like I said, this is why I don't like taking trades at the upper range or lower range because price ends up pulling back into the range. For me, I would have wanted this entry to happen somewhere up here so that I could ride this up. You know, this trade is still there's still opportunity here to get in for a late entry. So let me see where this price point's at. It is at 42.63. Let's see. I'm gonna watch it right here. I haven't put my pending order up yet, but I'm kind of like looking at where this could possibly. The thing is, I want it to push away from the sessions though. I don't want it to be sitting around this area. So I'm gonna watch the price action first for the next couple candles. But my buy limit would be right there at the 42,463. So I'm not in the position. I'm still here kind of watching it. The fact that it's within the range at the moment is kind of turning me off to the position because the thing right here is if this is the case, you know, we might get the same situation right here where it might push out of it, then it'll just pull back into the range again. Let's see. All right, I'll put my limit right there.
Order.
All right, so I'm in the position right there. I got in for a late entry.
Order submitted.
Oh, what the heck? I got a ton of errors over here on my.
Order submitted.
I'm getting like a ton of errors right here on my Ninja. I might have to get out of this position. I'm in the position right now, but I just got a huge amount of errors right now with that limit order. Yeah, I don't
Order
know.
filled.
Okay, I don't know what happened with my Ninja, but for some reason it pulled me out for like very small profit. Okay, now I just know not to do limit orders. For some reason that limit order like it made my Ninja Trader just go haywire right now. It just all my position it didn't enter on it only entered on like 5 accounts, and then I got errors on every other account. That was weird. Yeah, did you get into it, Nick? I was trying to get into it, but you guys saw my entry right here. I literally got in at exact price, and then I got a bunch of errors right there. Here, let me see if I can maybe get in for market if it pulls down a little bit. All right, let's see.
Order filled.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of an error. Like for some reason, I'm in the position for like some of them, but some of them are having I mean, it's not in it. So I'm running it in like maybe like majority of my positions here. All right, I'm just gonna have to follow it manually because something's up with my copier today. In the position right there, it's currently running. I'm gonna have to manually exit out of this position when it pushes up higher. Watch as it pushes up a little higher. I'm hoping the TPs are set on the other accounts. I'm gonna exit it manually though as it pushes up higher from here. It's almost there. I'm gonna have to manually exit this because for some reason my replicano, I think there was an error with my main account that I executed the trades on. I had to manually pull, guys. I don't know what's up with my Ninja today. I got a ton of slippage. Man, Ninja's
Order
like
filled.
order filled right there. So I got out right there at like I just had to manually pull out of the position, guys. I don't You'll look at my profits in a few and you'll see that there's like so much slippage across the accounts. Um Honestly, I don't know what happened with it. I've been getting like random problems with Ninja Trader, which is it's really frustrating because I have to use this platform since this is where all my accounts are on. But yeah, I just had to get out of it. It was too much of a mess for me to hold on to it. So I actually got out like closer to like 25 for the most part. I'll show you guys my profits right now. It was a mess. As much as I wanted to hold on to it, I don't like holding on to it with no TP in place. Like the reason why it was stressing me out was because I had to do it manually. And I hate doing things manually, guys, because when I do things manually, that's where I start to feel pressure, or I feel FOMO and I feel stuff like that. Anyways, here I'll show you guys my profits. Um, so I actually had to enter into this twice because of the issue, but here, I'll show you guys what I locked in. Well, it looks like I'm basically back to break even for the week. So I mean, I guess it wasn't a super horrible week. It's break even week for me. Um, yeah, I mean that's just kind of how the market is this week. So break even week for me this week. I will have to figure out what's up with my Ninja Trader. But here are my profits. The thing with my trades too, I looked at my positions from Monday. My 50 gig account, the other accounts that I have on Apex, they actually didn't execute. So I think I've been having issues with my NinjaTrader, but I haven't really fixed it yet. Because I did have issues the other day on Monday when I took that loss. So about 20 of my accounts didn't execute on Monday. And for today, I mean, you guys will see it here. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Okay, so here are my accounts. So you guys will see the profits here. They're like all over the place. We have like this is like one of my accounts where I had an error and it just closed out, but these over here ended up, I made like 200 bucks, 400 bucks. When I closed out and I hit flat and all, it was at like 1,000 profits. So I don't know if like it just closed late or whatever, but or if there was some slippage. But here are all my accounts right here. So I basically made 500 on the trade on most of them. So like 500, 350. So you guys can see why I was kind of like panicking a little bit. And I was like, I just got to close out of these positions because I didn't know what's going on with them. Um, because I just had like 20 pop-ups come up basically. So these are my profits that I locked in. I was at 1,000. I don't know why the slippage here or if my copier just ended up closing me out late, but it was closer to this 500 mark. So there's no TP set. You guys can see over here this one had the error. And while this one had the error, all of these over here, they were basically running without a TP. They were just running freely. And I had to click flat and all to close out of them. So if you guys got that, solid profit. If you guys didn't take it, it's okay. Man, it's been such a weird week this week. Issues with my NinjaTrader, issues with the market, ranging market, a lot of sideways moves, etc. It's just one of those weeks. So I locked in some pretty decent profit on that. Nothing super crazy, but yeah, overall, looks like Talanji here took it for 25. Nick got out for a small profit too. Yes, if you guys caught that with me, nice work. If you guys didn't, it is completely fine. The ATR is below 20. That's why I pulled out because I already knew that 30 wasn't going to hit when I saw the ATR kind of drop down below 20. So we'll uh we'll see if another entry comes up from now until then. I don't know if there will be any, but I'll keep following through here. All right. Yeah, Nick said I originally had my TP set to the top of the range. 42,500. 42,500. Nice. Oh yeah, to the you had your TP set to there. I would have done that too at the liquidity area, but because of the movement that we saw here, I already knew. And then plus the NinjaTrader had the issues. That's I think that's what threw me off the most because I haven't had any issues with NinjaTrader in a long time. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit. All right, we have a possible MPS V2 here for a sell. We had a rejection off the value high right here. So this could be possible opportunity for a sell. The only problem again here, guys, it's within the range. So it might be a little tricky. If it closes outside the range, possibility of it pushing even lower. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I don't know. Price action here is not good. It rejected directly off the range right there. Yeah, Talanji said needs to close past the wick exactly down there. No, there isn't even a setup there. It looks like this here swung all the way back up. No, so unfortunately, no. Well, there's an entry here. If you guys want to take this, this isn't MPSV2. The only problem here again is it's at this lower part of the range. That's why I would have thought of it to be a little bit of a risky entry. There was a rejection right here off the value high though. So rejection off the value high right there. Actually, the value high is higher. Or I mean, that's the first level of it. The 500 here would have made more sense. Yeah, Solange said don't like it. Me neither. It's right at that point. Nice. So Sam over here caught his liquidity sweep. If you guys remember earlier, we kind of marked up these levels here. I mentioned this is the point of control. Sam's liquidity sweep was right in between my liquidity and the point of control right here, or not the point of control, the value high. So nice work on catching that right there, Sam. I would have wanted it if it pushed higher. So if it pushed higher to this upper level right here, I would have been okay with it coming down, but it just never pushed up that high. Point of control right here, 413. Lower price point is the 400. All right, so what I would look for here is a sweep from down here, guys. So this is what I would look for, a possible sweep down, push down a little lower, sweep from this point, and then push back up for an MPSV2 for a buy. Yeah, Sam said I was worried you were as you were in a buy, had to fight hard, man. Yeah, no, it's all good, Sam. You know, analysis is analysis, right? If your analysis points you in a certain direction, it's all right if you're fading our trade, but I'm glad yours played out. I mean, ours played out too over here, so I'm glad I pulled out when I did. But yeah, I know it does kind of suck when your trade fades another, analysis and does the opposite. But the thing is, we're in a ranging market, so these opposite analysis, they make sense. They make a lot of sense because that's just kind of how the market is at the moment. They do go back and forth. Actually, Shivam said personally would prefer a buy. I can see it coming again above the range. Yeah, I can see it too. Ideally, I'd like it down here though. So I'd like prices to come down, sweep this liquidity, and then come right back up. And it's just such a messy market. I don't think we've seen a messy market like this in a long time, guys. Even during the winter season was actually pretty decent. Yeah, surprisingly, the winter season didn't really range very much. It kind of went directional. Let's see, Shivam said my area again is 42,460, like the previous setup he missed. 42,460 above. Okay, I see. Looking for it to push above that area. Yeah, looking at this right here, I mean, we have a buy signal. Price is likely to, I mean, we're stuck in this range, guys. So as much as I would like price to push up, it probably isn't going to. Price stay within this range here. Let's see. Sam said 43,365 area buy waiting. A lot of liquidity wicks. I'd love it to eat all the wicks as liquidity. Yeah, no, same here. All the wicks down here, right? This whole area. And that's kind of what I'm looking for too. Oh, you said 4365. You're looking like way up here. I think that might be a typo, no? 43,365, unless you're like really looking for it to push way up here, which I highly doubt. You might have just typoed that. Might have meant 42,365. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, bro, that's like 1,000 points off. You're good, Sam. Um, so yeah, Sam's looking for price to grab liquidity around here. 365. Basically this lower range, which makes sense because the value low is going to be right there to that green line. Exactly. I think that sell from earlier is still running. Yeah. So the sell from earlier, guys, is still running right here. There's the MPSV2 for a sell that came up right here. It's still running. So we had a sell signal, retracement, confirmation, and this thing is still running below. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, still running below. See if I can update my counts over here. All right, so we got that MPSV2 for the sell right there, the one that was like right at the range, still currently running. Looks like it might come down and grab that liquidity that I mentioned earlier. Possibly come down, grab liquidity, and push back up. It's at the point of control right now. So ideally, I'd like to see that happen. Maybe come down, grab liquidity, swing back up, get an MPSV2 for a buy. 30 points is going to be a very, very big long shot though, so I don't think that's going to be the case. Um, yeah, there you go. Full TP for the MPSV2 right there, guys, for a sell. There's possibly another MPSV2 that may be coming up. So if we don't get a sweep right here, yeah, if we don't get the sweep right here, then we might get a continuation lower and then a sweep from down here. We'll see. So there's two areas of sweeps here. There may be the sweep that I just mentioned right here because price is currently at the point of control. So what might happen here is a sweep and a push back up. Or, I mean, the deeper sweep is better. Like ideally, I'd like to push down even lower to this point. So this is currently, let me see where this 375. Is that what you said earlier? No, 365. Okay, so yes, so Sam is actually a little lower than that. But this is a pretty good sweet spot right here. I mean, there's a nice wick right there too, Sam. You're at 375, so a little bit above yours. All right, so we got price coming down lower right here. See, the thing that turns me off to these positions and these entries is the ATR. Look how low the ATR is, below 20. Nice. Sam took the MPSV2 and he hit 20. He said, man, your MPSV2s are awesome. Yeah, I know they're solid if you use them with confluence, right? So here we are. We're currently at the value low right now. So this is a 30-minute value low. Okay, so we're at your sweep area right here, Sam. Ideally, I want it to push down a bit lower. So ideally, I'd want it to push down. I mean, if it pushes down at this point, that's completely fine. I think I would be okay with taking a buy here for NPSV too. But a sweep down low right here would be even better. Sweep is cool right here. This is value. We're currently at the value low. Or what the heck, the value low just adjusted. Never mind. So the value low is down here at 350. It was up here earlier and it just adjusted. So I look for possibly a deeper dig. Sam got in and out of that one for 20 points. Nice work, Sam. So this kind of threw me off a little bit too, because we had the okay, we might get an MPS V2 here for a buy, but again, like I said, guys, it's going to be a little tricky because of the TP. The TP is going to have to push up to that upper range. I mean, it's not horrible. So this would have been, if I got a buy signal down here, this would have made sense. So I was hoping we get a buy signal right here. Because if we get that buy, retracement, continuation, we can write it back into the range up here, right? Only problem is that buy signal didn't close or didn't come up. And now we're kind of stuck up here. We've pretty much lost this whole area down here. Like this area should have been part of the trade or the analysis. I wouldn't be surprised if a buy signal comes up and there you go. Buy signal comes up right there. So, I mean, this is still doable. So if we get a buy signal here, we could probably ride this back into the range, right? Buy signal, retracement, continuation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. All right. We got the buy signal here. It's an invalid buy signal. Bit of a messy chart here. Clean this up a little bit. All right, we have an invalid buy signal right here. All right, what the heck? Did it just disappear? Oh no, sorry, my bad. I turned off the wrong tool. I was like, that thing disappeared at the last second. Anyways, we have a invalid buy signal right here. It doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid. This could still be setting up for a possible MPSV2. The only problem here again, guys, that I can't justify this enough is that we're going to be stuck at the sessions up here for that 30. So yeah, I'd be aware that that could be a possible, possible issue for us. Christian said it doesn't give a chance before the sweeps. Well, I mean, the entry is supposed to happen after the sweeps, Christian. So it's not supposed to give a chance before it. It's supposed to give a chance after it. That's why we're looking for the sweeps to happen. This is why I was looking for this to be a buy signal, right? Because it was a strong green candle. So I was looking for the sweep to happen, which is right here, which was the sweep wasn't off of liquidity, but it was off the point of control or the value low that was down here. So I'll try to mark up those levels on here so we can kind of see where price is likely to bounce from. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to kind of like liquidity to sit around those areas of rejection. So like we basically have a double confluence. So like what typically would have to happen is price would come down, bounce off that liquidity sweep or value low or whatever it may be. And then the following candle would typically be like a buy signal, right? Because so if you look at this here, so if this here was an MPSV2, like say for example, this here would have shifted, then we would have the entry there because this would push up, retrace, entry would happen right there. Okay, so there's a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. I think this would be a pretty decent setup if anybody's looking at it. The only problem again here, guys, the sessions, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm probably have to execute my trade off a different account here because my main one is having issues. So I'll be looking to possibly get the buy in here for the MPSV2. And I'll probably have to get out a little earlier before the session's there. So let's see, price is kind of sitting right here around the area. So we got about 5 seconds left on here. There.
Order filled.
See if I can get in right there. So I'm probably have to get out a little earlier, maybe 20 points. Yeah. 449. Because of the sessions up there. I just realized my copier is not set to this one. All right, so I'm only in on this. I'm only in on this position on one account, guys. I just realized I didn't set up my copier to enter on these. Okay, I mean, well, that was kind of a waste then. Today is kind of screwed up for me. I tried to change my account because the first one had issues, and then I moved to a different Apex account, but then I forgot that I didn't set the copier for that as my main leader, so I'm only in on this on one account. Which is okay, but yeah, it's not really in the position right now with the other accounts. I'm probably just gonna get out of this early because there's no point if I'm not linked to all my copiers. It's just one account here. Man, my trading was off this week. Well, not off, but just with everything in general. So the trade's still running right now. I'll probably just let this one either make some profit or I'll kind of like let it push up a little bit. I'll watch the price action here, but I'm in this position with only one account right now because I changed the entry because the other one didn't work or I had errors. And yeah, I don't even think I can enter late on the other ones right now. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm already kind of like trading off like I'm trading off like tilt right now a little bit because I want to get into this with all my other accounts, but I'm only in on this on one. So I'm trading on tilt, meaning that I'm not fully there right now with the position. Like I'm getting FOMO because I want to enter into this with like the rest of my accounts, but I'm only in on this on one. So before I make any stupid mistakes, I'm probably going to just close out of this one once it pushes more into profit. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. It's just I'm in this with one position, so it's just not really. I just don't feel a need to be in the position. All right, so it's back in profit right here. Let me just move my target a little lower. So I got in at you'll hear my robot. It'll say
Target filled.
target filled. So I got out of that position right there, guys. Today sucks for me because this could have been a good position for me, but I just didn't want to hold on to it with one account. My trade psychology is not there. I'm seeing like the small profits and it's just not, I'm just not there. So yeah, hold on to it, Nick, if you want to. If you guys are still in the position, I think it'll hit. But for me personally, my head just wasn't there because I was only in on the position with one account, and I just didn't feel the need to really like hold on to it. So you guys heard that it's in a position or order fill, full TP right there. How frustrating is that? So full TP right there, guys. That was a nice setup right there. This is why I don't like shuffling between my accounts on Ninja like during the session because I always make this mistake. I always forget that when I change the account number or the account main account, I forget to change it on the copier, so it just ends up executing on one account. But it would have been nice. So Talanji got it, Nick got it, Christian got it, Kyle got it. Nice work, guys. Sam said, come on, awesome job, bro. All your trades worked, you genius. Yeah, nice work. Sam got it as well. So great work, guys. My analysis here played out perfect. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be using these liquidity sweeps as confluences. I know Sam likes to take these as entry points, but yeah, 5 out of 5 entries for today. Today was a great trading day. It's just my psychology wasn't there. So, and I'm just kind of bummed out that I didn't get that on all my accounts. I'm in profit for the week. So overall, I mean, it's good week. It's just could have been better. It could have been better. But I can't think that way. That's how people screw up with trading is that you get greedy, right? You get greedy and you start to think that you could do better or you could have done this differently or this could have been done earlier or later or stuff like that. But yeah, I mean it would have been solid. Yeah, Sam said it could have been bad too. Yeah, this could have been a bad day. Like what Sam said. Can't be too hard on myself. Yeah, exactly. Solange said learned a lot this week, bro. Kyle said I feel you. Glad we're learning together. Yeah, 100%. So, I'm always looking to adapt with the market, guys. Like before it was a lot, we were like in a simpler place, right? We're in a simpler place where I didn't have to draw these ranges. We were just looking for rejections. We were looking for those directional moves. Now I have to draw these ranges, unfortunately, because we're stuck within this range most of the time. And then I'm drawing up the liquidity areas here to identify liquidity sweeps, just as another precaution and confluence for us to, make sure that we're trading in the proper direction. So. Yeah, overall, this was a break-even week. If I won this last trade, I would have been in profit overall for the week. So it's all good. It's just one of those weeks where, this is just the type of market that we're currently in, and we just got to deal with what we got so far. We got to deal with the hand that we're dealt. The good thing is that we didn't have a bad week. So I'm super, super glad that we didn't close this week out red. That's probably the best outcome of this week. Yeah, because I don't think I would be able to stomach another red week. I haven't had back-to-back red weeks in a long time, if like ever that I can remember. So yeah, this week is a slight profit week, break even if not slight profit. Um, but yeah, I mean, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We got Lila over here with some profits. Nice work, Lila. Yeah, no, exactly. I got to remember not to be too hard on myself. I mean, for me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so when the trades don't go my way, it's like I'd rather just pull out of it. If I held on to it, I would have made more profit, but it's okay. Uh, for the sake of my trade psychology, better for me to just pull out of it. So Christian over here locked in 575 for the day. Nice work, Christian. He's at break even for the week. And Lila locked in 445 for the day. Nice work, Lila. So great profit so far. We got Shiv over here. So Shivam locked in 270 per account. Great work. And I did pretty good. I can't be mad about making profit today, right? I made pretty good profit today. Yeah. I did pretty good for the most part. So I can't be a little crybaby, right? I can't lead by example and be the little crybaby here crying about screwing up my copier when like I'm the one that should be not making these mistakes. So it's been a good, I mean, I'm glad we closed out the week this way, guys. Like Sam said, we were 5 out of 5 for today. So the analysis over here played out perfect. That's all that really matters, right? It shows us that the MPS V2 has not gone out of it's not gone out of style. It's still working. So MPSV2 here is working perfectly. We just have to kind of factor in the ranges. We have to understand to not trade with, outside the range in certain circumstances. And then on top of that, I'm adding another confluence with the liquidity sweeps, which I mean should have been a confluence to begin with. It's just it was a lot of work to kind of mark it up. Now that I kind of have a better idea and a better system to mark up liquidity, we'll have something better to be following. Yeah, it's Longy said I see it going back down on higher time frames. Yeah, so Nick said, I'm not sure if I'm being dumb holding this. His target is 42,468. Let me see, 42,468. Wait, you should have hit already then. Oh no, 42,468. So Nick is holding on until here. So here's the thing, Nick. If this breaks and closes past the sessions again, so it already broke and closed past it right there. If you have another break and close, I do think it can reach up higher because this red line right here is going to be the value high. Or yeah, value high. So it's a possibility that could be a target for it to reach. So no, you're not. I don't think you're completely off, Nick, on your analysis there. I think this could push up higher. This trade was supposed to run up to 30 right there. I mean, it did hit 30, but because of the sessions right there, that's why I adjusted it a little bit. Hey, what's up, Denise? Denise said, hello. It's been about 2 years since I've been trading. I want to get back in. I was seeing what platform is being used now to trade. It kind of depends on where you're located, Denise. If you're in the US, most of us are using NinjaTrader because we all trade futures now for the most part. CFDs aren't allowed. Well, they've never been allowed, but they're like for sure not allowed now. So most of us are using, if not everyone's using NinjaTrader. Some people are using Tradeovate, but NinjaTrader is probably the better platform because you can use a copier on it. If you're not in the US, you have a couple more options. People still use MetaTrader. It just kind of depends on your location, but for the most part, most people have shifted over to futures. A lot of prop firms use futures now. Um, some people use this other platform called TradeLocker. I wouldn't necessarily use TradeLocker. I mean, if you want to use it, feel free, but I haven't really seen any good things about TradeLocker at all. Let's see, Solange said, Sean, do you have a chart of contract amounts for different ATRs, TPs? Not necessarily. I mean, I should. I do, but I always delete it. So I don't have it with me, unfortunately, Solange. But yeah, in the future, I'll probably make another one. Maybe at the next mentoring session, I'll create a chart with the different ATRs for the account sizes. It's not really hard to do, so I could probably do it at some point. It's time consuming. Let me see if I have mine here. No, I deleted it. I don't know why I deleted it. I should just leave it on there. Oh, is Apex, did they send you a notice? Yeah, because they want you to use the same contract size pretty much for the entire month. So like usually for a month's time, Apex will they want you to use either like the same contract size or have the same amount of risk for like a month period, like during your payout period. So during your payout period, you should be using maybe like one contract size and have the same amount of risk. Or if you're changing it, only change it by a little bit, right? By like maybe one or two contracts. Because if you change it by like three contracts or five contracts, that's where they start to be tripping. Like you said, Apex be tripping because it messes with the consistency. I don't know. Their consistency is weird. It's not just exactly as Solange said, not giving payouts for different contracts or profit amounts. Yeah, exactly. That's why for me, I only change my contract sizing and profit and like certain accounts based on the week or even sometimes like every 2 weeks because like I said they're very nitpicky about stuff like that. So I would say from pay period to pay period stick to like maybe one contract size and one profit goal and or loss goal so that your consistency stays pretty flat. Like my consistency is always at like 50% or higher because we're doing a one-to-one, so I'm always making or losing the same amount. And then the only problem is when we adjust our TP a little bit, right? Like for example, here we went for 30 to 20. right? So that's where it kind of screws it up as well. There's a lot of different factors to Longi. I know it's super annoying, but you just kind of have to deal with it. If you get denied, it's fine. Just request it on the next request period, and then you should be able to get it then. Oh, Denise from Ohio. I remember you, Denise. Yeah. So yeah, if you're in Ohio, you would probably want to use NinjaTrader. If you're on a PC, or you can trade directly on TradingView now. I don't know if you realize that, but if you open an account with like say Apex, which is the main prop firm that we're using, I can give you the promo here. I don't know if you're in the Discord, Denise. If you're in the Discord, you can go over here to the FAQs or go to funding companies. There's a promo right now for Apex. I think it's like 80% off. So how do I get this going on here? Yeah, so if you use that code right there, sign up with a Tradevate account. And if you sign up with Tradevate, you can trade directly on TradingView. So you can just log in, like for example, right here, I have my Tradevate logged in. If I want to take a buy or a sell right here, I could just hit sell and I can enter my position directly on TradingView. So that's like a cool little function that you can use. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I mean, I think that's probably like your best option. If you're only trading one account, trade directly on TradingView. If you're trading multiple accounts, trade on NinjaTrader, because you can use a copier. And those are probably like your best options there. But all right, guys, it is 8:06. We're way past our live session time. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. If you guys are not part of the Discord, feel free to join it. If you, Denise, I don't know if because you've been out for like 2 years. If you go down to the info right there on the YouTube, there's all the links. So if you want to see the new course with like, basically the free course with all the strategies, you can see them there. And then if you scroll down, there's like links for everything like Apex and Tradeify. If you go to the free course, Denise, everything is explained there. So I literally explain everything from like what platforms to use, what strategies are being used, when we trade, etc. It's a good way for you to get back up to speed because I know you haven't traded for 2 years. So if you want to get back to speed, if you go to the course, we have that there. Let me see if I could drag this over. I'll share the course real quick before I get off this live session. And the course is completely free. I mean, if you want the indicators, of course, you've been around before. So if you want the indicators, you'll just have to pay for that. But if you just want to look at the course, this is what the course looks like. So I explain everything here: the Discord platform, Zoom, TradingView, NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, futures brokers, funding companies, trading, copy trading, each platform right here, how to use everything. So if you sign up to that, Denise, you'll get up to speed. Just go in order and you'll understand like everything that we're using now and then everything that you would need to know if you want to follow us on the live sessions. So yeah, it's good to see you back here. It's good to see old faces back. I know you haven't been here for 2 years, but there's a lot of old faces here who have been here for 2 years and probably recognize you as well. All right, Nick. So solid work right there. So Nick got his target. He was reaching for 465 and he reached that full target right there. Like I said, the target here is going to be the value high and it's not there yet. But eventually when it does, that's going to be the target price point. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, it was a decent week so far, guys. We closed out the week pretty strong. Basically 5 back-to-back wins right here for the day. No losses. I just had a couple issues with my NinjaTrader and stuff. But, it is what it is. You just got to roll with these punches and you got to weather the storm. So hopefully next week will be more directional. But otherwise, this week was pretty solid overall. But all right, guys, have a great weekend. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here on Monday for Market Open.